It's story time, guys. Fucking early. A lot of people didn't get finished at the rally until like, shit, I didn't get home till almost 3 o'clock. No, it was almost 2, I think. So, I wanted to tell a story in connection with something. Sending the invites. Invite. Rice Polly's still sleeping. I don't blame you guys. If my cat hadn't been whining at the door, I would have been asleep still too. But here we go. So, not everybody on my friends list is part of the Black Lives Matter movement. And I wanted to just tell you guys a little story about my experience at Panera. You know? Okay. Now that I've invited everybody. Okay. Oh, shit. Really? Really? Why? Why would you do that, phone? Why would you do that? Let me put something over here to stop it from moving. Okay. Great. Here we go. A couple years ago, I started working at Panera on Papa Level Road. I don't know, you been there? It's whatever. It's like Starbucks on crack, basically. When I started working there, they told me that I had to refill the creamers, that I had to make more tea, make more coffee. I had to collect the dishes from the dining areas. There were 2 sections for the dining areas, and then there was the outside area as well that I also had to go to. I had to wipe all the tables in the dining areas in 2 separate dining areas, and I had to take all the dishes back to the kitchen. Needless to say, if you've been to a Panera, you know that all of these things are literally at every spot of the store. So I had to be everywhere at all times without fail. Now, I think it was a discriminatory purpose, because when I was let go, it was within a week of me asking them to fill out disability papers to make sure that the government knew how much income I was getting in order to offset the amount of money that I was getting from the state because of my disability. Well, needless to say, when these people let me go, they said that I couldn't keep up. I told them I had like 2+ years experience on a register, once at Blockbuster and one at McDonald's at the time. And they only had me on the register at Panera for like 4 hours, right? So, if you've been to a Panera, you know that you could get like a half bowl, a cup, a soup. I mean, there was like bread bowls and shit. Like, you know that there's like a lot more options and a lot more specificity, whatever. There's more specific, like, you can narrow things down even further at a Panera. So if you don't want a whole bowl of soup, you can get a bread bowl of soup, or you can get a cup of soup, or whatever the fuck. So the system is different, and it's more complicated than if you was to work at McDonald's, right? So that's cool. You take that into account with the fact that they had to have me at all areas of the store at all times without fail. I couldn't keep up with everything. I was only one person. I can't be everywhere at once. So it was exhausting, and they used that as an excuse to let me go. Now, why am I talking about Panera? I'm talking about Panera because defunding the police is not about abolishing policing. Defunding the police is about allocating certain people to certain aspects of dealing with the community. When somebody calls 911, you're not gonna. It's not all willy nilly. We all know there's gonna be that one person who's like, oh my god, I'm so old. My neighbors are partying at night. It's 10 o'clock and I went to sleep at 5, and blah blah blah. I need you to deal with these people who's partying. And then the next caller is going to be like, I just got shot by my boyfriend who caught me with somebody. We already broke up. Okay. So those are obviously two very, very different situations. Why would you have the same people go and deal with the same situations rather than have different, we have different categories for homicide and this war on drugs bullshit. You got a group of people dealing with drug related stuff as well, like where they like bum rush you in the middle of the night without knocking on your door, that type of thing, because they think that you're making meth or something, whatever. So why would you have all of the same people dealing with every single community issue under the sun? Why would you do that? That's stupid. I couldn't even last a month at fucking Panera. Could you imagine me at Panera with a gun getting yelled at by every single customer because I can't keep up? What the fuck am I gonna do? I don't know. I don't want to shoot anybody, but if they pressure me so much, and if they started giving me more hours and I was like exhausted and shit, who knows what the fuck would happen. The point is, you can't have one person dealing with everything at all times and expect them not to fail. You cannot do that. You have to have certain people dealing with certain parts of their job, and everybody else, they have their little space as well. Each little space is a different category. Each little space is a different issue. So if you are more sufficient in de-escalating situations of domestic violence, then I don't want you dealing with this fucking bank robbery, because you're a better like talk downer. So you're better at talking somebody down from like being violent with their spouse or whatever, their ex. I don't want Tommy, who has been dealing with like looting and shit, to turn around and be like, okay, I gotta work this double homicide. No, and they even have a homicide fucking department. So they don't even put people in homicide that have never done that. So why is it that we can justify the use of the same police for every single situation outside of drugs and homicide? Those are like two only things that people really take serious enough to only have like certain people go and deal with that shit. Why? No, really, why? Why would you have a department for homicide, and a department for fucking dealing with drug situations, like whatever, and everything else is an all you can eat, like everybody can deal with that situation? No, you're a fucking idiot if you think that's the truth. If you think that all of that money can be allocated towards putting Joe in every situation, he's going to talk somebody down from jumping off the bridge when all he's been doing is giving people citations. His whole career has been just giving people traffic citations. Really? You want him to talk Sally down because she's standing on the edge of this fucking bridge. She's about to kill herself, and this dude, he don't even know how to fucking talk to anybody. Because all he does is slip freaking tickets and shit under people's windshield wipers. Like, come on now. I'm just saying. Where's the logic in that? a lot of these cops, they don't mind being overworked because they get to terrorize people. It's a pastime for them to make up for all of the hours that they are overworked. Where they're just sitting around, they're bored all the time. They want some excitement. And how do they get excitement? From doing whatever the fuck they want, when they want to, where they want to who they want to. And guess what? Here's the punchline. We don't know how many of these motherfuckers are white supremacists at the end of the day. At the end of the day, you have to be a fool to say, I want to join the police force. But I want everybody to be happy and warm and fuzzy. So I'm going to go and disrupt this protest, this peaceful protest. And I'm going to block every single place that they try to go to. Because we don't want everybody in the city to get that same message. So I just want everybody to get along. Let's keep everybody on this side of the city. No, you can't go over there. Everything's warm and fuzzy, right? No, motherfuckers. These people, they get off on this shit because at the end of the fucking day, a lot of motherfucking white supremacists get away with their shit because they put on a wrong fucking uniform at the beginning of the day. At the beginning of the day, they put on the wrong fucking uniform. But they do it on purpose because it allows them to look like everybody else. And guess what? If we was to go into these people's homes and look in their closets, what do you think you would see? Ask yourself that. When you see all of these shootings, all of these people who claim that they're God-fearing, why the fuck are you shooting people? If you believe in God, why would you support murder? Why would you do that? That's one thing that really fucking gets under my skin. Like, where's the logic in that? Like, what Bible are you reading where you can justify the murder of somebody? Death sentence included. If you support the death sentence and you claim that you're a God-fearing person, you claim that you're a fucking Christian, who are you? You're not a Christian. Nope. Nope, you're not. You're a fucking murderer. Anyways, and if you do your research enough, you know that there's far too many people who are found innocent after they're killed by the government. There's way too many people who are found innocent for us to justify the death sentence. There's this, no. So that's a side note. I wanted to use Panera as a sort of example. Well, that's obviously a mild place. I mean, am I going to get shot while I get my Danish and chai latte? No. But it's a fine example of having certain people deal with certain things rather than dealing with everything all at once, all the time, for hours on end. It's stupid. And if you expect somebody, if I can't deal with that shit in a fucking coffee shop, a glorified coffee shop, then why the fuck would you expect that of somebody who has a gun on their hip, they got a taser on their hip, they got access to canines, they got access to fucking tanks, they got access to military weaponry. Why would you allow that person and encourage that person to deal with all situations all the time? It's reckless and it's stupid. Period. We cannot give people that much power. We cannot. Absolutely not. Now, when these fucking people, you call 911, they have certain people for EMS, they have certain people for police, and so on. Why would they not narrow it down even further? It's not that hard, like, to create more departments so that everything's more efficient. But that's no fun. I don't want to do the same thing day in and day out. I wanna be like dealing with traffic tickets and then the next day be able to kill a whole bunch of people, right? Doesn't that make a lot of sense? Nothing can go wrong. Anyways, I'm done with my rant. I hope you understand where I'm coming from. And now you understand defunding the police is not about abolishing the police. Defunding the police does not mean getting rid of policemen, because obviously that would lead to anarchy. And we all know how that would happen, because back in the day we didn't used to have police. Police were created to stop slaves from fleeing. And now we get to push them in prisons and force them to do, what is it, like 5 cents an hour? 5 cents an hour. You know how I'm done with that shit. Anyway, I just hope you understand where my message is coming from. You guys have a lovely weekend. Toodles!